Hello everyone, welcome to another week in our garden. Now the flood has now receded. Luckily we're still on a bit of a slope just here, so although we flood pretty quick because of the broken dike, after a good 12 hours it does run down the hill. So it's not too bad, but it just leaves such a sticky, slimy mess. Now what I've actually done, I've gone from the garden top to bottom with the 4-pronged rake, and I've just loosened the soil up to let the air in. And if you can imagine, at the deepest part of the water there's a lot of weight on the soil and that compacts it, so I had to break it up a bit. But we'll show you how, one end to the other, how we're now looking. Okay, now the far quadrant on this, which is bed D, that's how the flood left me. I've put a little bit more straw on there because I want to stand on there to start the double digging. Far too wet at the moment though, I'll have to leave it. This side you can see where I've just raked it up a little bit to let the air in, and likewise on these two quadrants here on bed D. The poor old garlic has been underwater 4 times now, but it seems to be still standing. We'll see how we go with that. This one is where we did the double digging. It was smooth, but I've loosened it with the 4-prong and letting the air into it now. Now as you can see, it's washed all my bark paths away, so I shall have to go and start and buy some more bark and replenish all those now. This is plot C, where, as you can see, this is where the potatoes were, which again the flood left it smooth and level, so I've again with the 4-prong loosened it up. I've had to reset some winter lettuce because the others completely died. The spring onions seem well, but we'll see how we go with those. Now the Brussels plants are fine. I hope they don't grow anymore, but they're looking very well, swelling up nicely. The leeks don't like to be stood wet, so we're hoping they're fine. They look alright, but we won't know that until we start lifting them. The cauliflowers look alright, although they are a bit small, but they're still there. The winter cauliflowers, or spring cauliflowers if you like, they look okay. The calabrese seem to have enjoyed it. They are standing very well. Now I just show you plot A. This is plot A in the 4 quadrants. Again I pulled it through with the 4-prong just to loosen it a little bit. That quadrant over there with the straw on, that is a very clayey corner, so I've put loads of barley straw on, and then I'll fork that in probably as it dries off a little bit. Now the fruit cage is okay. The chickens are in doing a bit of sorting at the moment. I did put that straw on there because that's one little part that I want to loosen up a little bit, so I shall fork that in and try and loosen. It's a bit clayey in there, so I want to loosen that, ready for planting in the spring. But otherwise the fruit cage got away. The water just got to where we are up the garden. Now the fruit cage was fine because the water got to here before it receded, so all the fruit plants are fine there. I thought if it got on top of the strawberries it would have rotted the crowns, but it didn't get this far, so they're fine. The chickens are up here. There's 6 of them there. I don't know where the other one is, but they're sorting through the bit of straw I put down this morning. Now I was just looking at the chickens, just going to ask them to start digging at this end, so, but I don't think they're listening. Let's go and clean some tools up that we said we was going to do last week. Now we'll get some of these tools cleaned and sharpened, ready to put away for winter. I will still need to use the spade and the fork because I've still got digging to do. It made me a bit behind with this flood, so there's still a lot of work to do down there, but we'll get some done. We'll do the secateurs first. We'll do the revolving handle one. Okay, these are the revolving handle ones. It makes it easier when you're using them for quite some time. It's not so hard on your hand. So we open them up. First thing, easiest thing to do is take the spring away, put it in the tray so we don't lose it. Now if you can see, this cog here is held tight with this little piece here, so we need to loosen that so we can turn the cog away, and that holds it and locks it down so it doesn't wear itself loose. And unscrew that. Now these sometimes tend to get a bit tight, so you might need to put the spanner on it just to hold it up, and you just lift it if we can and move it round. I don't know if you can see. There it goes, look, out the way, and it's best to put it out the way and just nip it down again, and then it doesn't come back into the wheel. Then close them up. We put the spanner. Now I'm using a spanner, but actually when you buy your secateurs new, you get a little blade tool that's for all these. It's got all these on it, but I've long since lost that. These are about 20 odd years old. Just loosen that and then undo that wheel. There you are. Put that in there. Right, now we can lift it apart like that. This spindle or axle, push that out, put that in there. Take the blade off. Be careful now, that's sharp. It's on 3 keys, 1, 2, 3, into those 3 holes there, look. So that's what holds it down. This side, there's not a lot to take off on this side, but we'll clean that and get that ready to come back. If you start undoing these and moving this, you'll find that when you're using it, these will come loose again, so it's best not to move those too much. Let's clean it up. Now the best thing to do is clean it up with some wire wool. It does come off, look, quite well. In fact, if we could push that, no, we can't push that out. Just keep cleaning until it's nice and shiny. There you are. This is coarse wire wool. So that's nice and clean. Get that shoulder clean there. That's nice. These are very old, so they're not going to shine up like the other ones, but we'll get them best we can. This side, these are actually Falco number 7. You need to remember what size they are when you're using them. This is a Falco 2, so when you order your blade, you order with that number. Clean this shoulder, look how dirty it gets in there. Oh. Now if you wish to take the handle off, just give it a pull. It does come off, look, and that'll make it easier, but for cleaning the top, we'll just keep that on. That's going to take some cleaning. Might just get the wire brush just to clean that. Right, so we've got the wire brush because I can't get the wire wool into that. We'll just give it a little bit of brush, look, in there, just clean that up. That's smart, that. Just do it round that. Use the wide one, it's easier. There you are, it's nice and clean. So that's nice and clean. I'll do the other side now. As I say, don't take these off if you can help it. Get that clean. And it's this bar there that sticks up a little bit. That's what actually the blade works across. So make sure that's nice and clean. And you'll always get a bit of muck at the back of that bar, so you have to get that out. And then in there, nice and clean. On that ledge there, I'll use the brush again. There you are, it's nice and clean. In there, same again with the brush. There you go. Nice and clean all the way around. That's fine. Now that piece there is what the secateurs work against, so that'll want a good clean up. That's nice, that is nice and sharp. That's that cleaned up nicely, so we'll just pop it over there. The blade, be careful now, because these blades stay sharp for a long time. So we'll just rub from this side. If you keep going, it will come clean. That's nearly there, not now. That's fine, lovely and smooth. We'll do the other end, but be careful of the blade. That's fine. We'll do the other side and then we'll do the edge. Again, be careful. There's no real quick way of doing this, you've got to keep rubbing. You get nice and smooth. That's it, look, then we'll do this. It's getting a little bit of rust on it, so we'll clean that. And then we'll go around the edge. Just round there now. All nice and clean. Now we need to put a little edge on this. So I'll use this. This is a diamond. Got industrial diamonds into it now. Want to just do the blade edge, not the full on the blade. So we just angle it. Okay. Just gentle, don't rub too hard. Keep the angle there. You see how it's beginning to shine now? That's the edge, that's very, very sharp now. We just need to do this little bit here, it's still dirty, and a little bit at the end, I think. So we'll do this end first. Don't press too hard with these. And we'll just follow it round to that angle. A little bit more there, I think. Just getting the angle right. That's it, look, that's sharp. Very sharp. Now for the other side, take the burrs off, lay it flat and just gently. That's fine. That is very, very sharp now. So we'll just pop that in the tray, I think, for safety for a moment. Right, now we're going to reassemble it. Missed one part, look, we haven't cleaned the spring. Take a cloth, give the spring a good clean. You won't get this awfully clean, but you'll get it clean the way it is. It's a bit cleaner that side. There you go, that's about as good as you'll get this spring. And we'll put it together. We'll start with the blade into place, which goes, get it the right way round. If you imagine that's going to go like that, so your blade will want to be that way, you see. So the blade on like that. Now when you get this far, what I do is I put just a spot of oil on it, not much, because if you get too much oil on it, every dust etc sticks to it. Give the spindle a wipe. There you are, same again, just one spot of oil on it, that's it. And that goes from the back into there. Just give it a little bit of a twist. That's fine. Then we can put the front back on like that. We'll close it because that protects the blade. Then we need to put this wheel back on the top. No oil on this, don't forget. And then take it down. Just finger tight for now. That's reasonably safe now. And then we can pop the spring in. It goes in there and in there like that. So we've got it back together. Now we need to tighten it. So we tighten it with the spanner. Now if you're too tight, if I do it with this hand, I'll just do it too tight, you see, and then it's no good if it's too tight. So just take it back a fraction. You just want to hear those two whisk together, and then you know you're in the right position. That's nice, I like that sound. So now we'll lock it, and we'll get the screwdriver and we'll just loosen this off. Turn this, which is the locking piece, into there, lock that down, and then tighten that up. Try not to let this wheel move though as you tighten. Lock that off, have a feel. That's good, I like that. And then lock it off. What I also do, which you can only do on this particular set, is just put one bit of oil on there, and then just rub it in a bit so it's slightly oily but not a lot. And that's got a little ball there that holds it on. I don't know if you could see it. That little ball pops inside in there and locks it on. So you pop it on. That there matches that. Okay, and you just pop it on because that's what holds it and lets it revolve. And there you are. One clean pair of secateurs ready to go away for next year. The Falco number 2, exactly the same mechanism, same laps, sharpening's the same, and if your blade's not too bad, which these aren't, they're just dirty and want to clean and sharpen, they're fine. If your blades are getting pitted and broken, then obviously you're going to have to replace your blades, which is exactly the same, but instead of cleaning it, you put your new one in and then that's done. Now I'll just do the fork and a hoe. The fork I'm still going to use, obviously, because I'm behind with my digging. I'll do the shaft with some linseed, take this old paint and that off it, clean that up. But this is the condition that I like to put tools away after each job. So they're reasonably clean, as you can see. But the wood hasn't been treated for a year, so let's do that. Again, wire wool. If you like, wear some gloves when you're using the wire wool, it's quite coarse. And all we're going to do is give this wood a good rubbing down. You see there's a bit of paint dripped on it there in the season, so that needs to be taken off. Let's give it a good clean. It's worked hard, so we've got to look after it. And then you just, if I tilt it over the edge, I can do the side. It's amazing how much dirt you get on these shafts through the season. We'll do the handle in a moment, we'll just concentrate on the shaft. You do all your wooden tools like this, they last longer and the shaft stays stronger. Go right down to the steel. If you use the coarse wire wool, it does a lot quicker job. I'll just do around that collar a little bit better. Stay with the grain if you can. That feels a lot better already. And then we'll do the handle. That feels good. Just clean it off. I'll just wipe that down. No chickens underneath, so alright. Oh, you're there, alright. Now the steel, I'm not going to do this because I still need to use it. What I'll do is I normally rub it over with the wire wool and put some vegetable oil on it. Don't put too much vegetable oil on it, because if you put a lot on it, it goes like mildew on it. Just a very little piece, a little bit on it, just to keep them from rusting. Right, let's get some linseed oil on this. Boiled linseed. I've nearly run out, but there's plenty in there for 2 shafts today, and I'll buy another one tomorrow. And remember, you don't need a lot of this. If you put a lot on, it will get sticky. But you can see straight away how nice that shaft's coming up. It's doing the wood a world of good, that is. There you go. I'll just do the handle. I'll show you. Plenty on there for the handle. slide it over. So there you are, that's the shaft of the fork done, and it will feel better already. It does, it feels good. This is the hoe that I use most of. It's a good long handle, and what I should do is I'll do the shaft the same as we did for the fork, but I will need to sharpen it before I put the oil on the blades. This is as I finish using it again, so it's nice and clean anyway, but as you can see there's a little bit of rust coming through on it, and it's not sharp at all. But we'll do the shaft first, same way. I'll get this shaft done and then come back to you when I've done it. Now that's the shaft that's been rubbed with the wire wool, and it's got linseed oil on it. Now the head, we rub the blade with some coarse wire wool again, same as before. Not too bad, but this, where you see these rusty bits, we really need to get that clean. Now through the winter, when we get that in the spring, it'll be all rusted up and no good to anybody. That's better, look, that's nice. Same again. Okay, that's that nice and clean. Now that is very blunt. So with these, all I do, I get the file and just rub it down to sharpen it. All around the corner as well. So when you hoe in, that'll cut any weed off straight away. On the other side, just keep it flat and go along the blade with the blade. We don't want no bevel on the back, we want the back level. That's nicely sharpened, as you can see, and it feels quite sharp as well. So what we do with this one, this is old, I've had it a few years actually. This is vegetable oil, but remember, not a lot. Ooh, plenty on there. And then just rub the vegetable oil on. Right up to the wood. Make sure you get all the bits along your blade, around the back, on the back of there like that. When you're doing your linseeding, make sure you get some linseed into here so it soaks into this wood and keeps it nice and strong. Right, let's do this end. That's it. Don't need a lot of it, just enough. There you go. This is now ready to hang up in the shed. All the wooden handle tools need to be cleaned with the wire wool and rubbed down with linseed oil. The sharpen implements, your spade, your hose, sharpen them up, oil them lightly with vegetable oil and get them hung up. So we've done some secateurs, we've done a hoe and we've done the fork. So I'm afraid that'll be about it for this week. I do believe the clouds are coming across again, which it doesn't matter, we're used to the rain now up here. That'll be it for this week. Many thanks for watching, many thanks for subscribing, we do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you next week.